Hello, I'm Russell. Welcome to the Flying Ball.
4 sets of B&B owners locked in battle. As they check into each other's places...
That's a child's size, surely.
...and size up one another.
Both of those things smack of somebody desperate for payback.
Today there's rocking boats and rockier relationships.
Trying to work with him would drive me mad.
In the fight to be named Best Value for Money at the end of the week.
Pretty?
Today the competition is in Cambridge, where at the Aya Villa guest house, host Faisal Malik, along with cousin Wak Salim, is not planning a charm offensive.
I don't think my personality is going to help me win, really. I don't think it's going to do
I don't think it is either. It's not going to do you favours.
No, it's not.
A night in one of the 10 rooms costs up to £50, including a cold buffet breakfast. But Faz is keen to point out his place is still a work in progress.
Initially, I did have to start off with green because half the furniture was green. I've got one word that describes decor, and that is mission. It's an absolute mission.
Well, we've only been here 2 years.
Yeah, I'm halfway through putting my stamp on it, definitely.
And Faz has expensive tastes.
If I had all the money in the world to do this place up, it would have every thinkable extra. TVs coming out of beds, electric curtains, jacuzzis. It would be like something out of a film.
While Faz daydreams about pimping his pad, the first guests have been swatting up.
Cambridge, of course, big student centre. Perhaps we're going to end up in a student hostel. 7 to a room, toast at 4 in the morning, happy memories.
This mature student is Richard Lawson of the Elvedon Inn in Suffolk, and keeping him company is head housekeeper Kerry Alcock. On the previous visit to Sharon's B&B, the Victorian-themed bedroom left Richard cold.
It feels a little bit like a funeral parlour to me.
And the hosting didn't do much to revive him.
Yesterday afternoon was a shambles. A 5, I think. We're generous. It's not for her a business, it's her life. And what we're doing is we're commenting and judging and scoring her life. And I think she will either take that as thank you very much and here's a hug, or she'll be swinging a very expensive piece of Victorian pottery.
But as Faz prepares to greet his guests, it's not Sharon he's worried about.
I'm a little bit concerned about Richard. Reason being just because I've noticed he's probably the pickiest out of all of us.
Hi, Faz.
Hi, how are you? You're right.
Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you.
How are you, buddy?
How you doing?
Nice
You're
to
right.
see you.
Good to see you. This is your room. So the rate here for a double ensuite, 2 people, is £50.
Right, thank you very much indeed.
If you need anything, just let me know.
Thank you, Faz. See you soon, man. Right. OK.
It's a big room.
It is a big room, isn't it?
While Richard and Kerry big up the room, the next guests are approaching with caution.
I'm a little bit apprehensive in terms of meeting Richard again, Chris. I think we both are, aren't we?
Yes.
Taking it uneasy is Sharon Parker from the Victorian Villa B&B in Hampton, Middlesex, who's joined by her friend Chrissy. When she hosted last time, Sharon won rave reviews from some of the guests.
Heart of gold.
I think for Sharon it's got to be a 10,
10.
really.
This is my cup of tea.
But her dreams turned to dust
Oh, no!
when it came to Richard and Kerry's feedback.
I think this is about me. You know, disorganised, over-fussy. That's criticism about my personality.
But today, the tears have turned to outrage.
His comments to my B&B were so disgusting, I could punch him off, isn't it? Please walk straight in. Hello!
How are you?
I'm all right, Faz. Lovely to see you.
I'm right. Welcome to Aya Villa. OK. So your room today is room 1. The rate for this room is £50 per night. That's for both of you, and that's including a continental buffet breakfast.
Okay.
Thank
you.
Thank you, love. Wow.
Gosh, that's a cheap rate, isn't it? £50.
The final guests are summing up their expectations.
I think it's going to be geared up to business people, really. Very functional. You know, have all the mod cons.
The first hosts this week were couple Russell Theron and Chris Burkett of the Flying Bull in Hampshire. When they visited Sharon's place, they found themselves in a Victorian melodrama.
Chrissy! She's dead!
Well, it was all just a bit of a whirlwind, really, wasn't it?
It was great fun. It wasn't particularly relaxing. I wouldn't go there for a relaxing break.
No, come here. Bruce, you need to walk in. Chrissy, get out, move back. Right, ready?
Today, they're hoping the ladies have regained their composure.
It'd be really interesting with Sharon and Chrissy because they've got their bit of stress over whether they'll be a bit calmer and a bit more change in personality. Oh, I wonder if it's another themed guest house. Hello! Guess who it is? The pizza delivery is here.
Hello.
Welcome to
Hi,
our villa.
Faz.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Hi,
You all right?
how you doing?
Okay, this is room 2. This is a double ensuite.
Yeah.
This room is £50 per night, and it includes a buffet breakfast, your Wi-Fi and your parking.
Brilliant.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Great. Really nice, isn't it?
This room really surprised me. It could be like in a business hotel, couldn't
Yeah,
you?
it's really, really nice.
Now all the guests have said hiya to the ayah, they get down to the business of inspecting their rooms.
It looks pretty clean and fresh, to be fair.
Got the internet. Yes.
I wonder if it's an electric seat. So you can...
It's a jet wash to jet wash your bum.
Is it?
I don't know. It is as well. A bidet.
Perfect.
That is, you can see your face in that, can't you?
Oh, God.
It's clean apart from this vent up here.
Yeah. It's a really easy, people miss the
I know,
vent, so-
I know.
You know, a bit of product left in the sink.
So after a thorough route around the rooms, Richard's found himself in a tight spot.
It turns on from here.
Chris and Russell are getting picky.
I've got one toothpick and a very small stationery item. What can you make with these two things?
And Sharon and Chrissy are taking the Goldilocks approach.
This one's too soft. This one's too hard.
This one's just right.
With room inspections over, the guests are heading out for an afternoon in Cambridge. And Sharon encounters Richard and Kerry for the first time since she received their feedback.
Hey.
I haven't seen you yet. How are you? I'm all right, thanks, Kerry. Hello, Victor.
Hello,
Hi.
You all right?
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Got quite a frosty, frosty response from her this morning.
Yes. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, she's been big change with Sharon, and I don't know why.
Cambridge is ideal for a spot of messing around on the river, so Faz and Wack are braving the weather and taking a punt on their guests' water skills.
Welcome to Cambridge. Today your activity is going to be punting.
The guests split into two boats, and Richard and Sharon are putting water between them. Not that the hosts seem any the wiser.
I've not noticed any tension between anyone. What goes on behind the scenes, we don't know.
We don't know that. We'll find out.
Chris, I suggest you may want to look up the river because you go.
While Chris gets tips from his backseat punters, Faz is trying not to rock the boat.
Keep going, you're doing brilliant.
You're jinxing me.
Just don't fall in whatever you do, Rob.
Don't fall in. We really enjoyed the punting, and Faz was absolutely brilliant at punting.
But in the other boat, they're all at sea.
We're going too fast.
Hang on. Oh, there's a wall.
I think today Chris and Russ were bouncing off each other and were very funny. Even when they were like arguing about how many walls we're hitting, they're still having a laugh with each other.
I'll just straighten up.
Bit too late for that.
Don't say so.
As Chris tries to get his pole on the straight and narrow, Sharon is taking a more poetic approach.
I made up a verse for punting, didn't I?
Really well.
Faz and Whack, they punt so well, even though it's not so swell. The rain it pours and Faz holds on, but Whack and Faz, we will go on.
The activity was good, bar the weather, but then again, the weather made it a little bit wild and exciting, so it added to the experience. So we had fun. I think everyone else did too.
As the B&Bers make for dry land, Sharon and Chrissy float their suspicions about Richard's qualities as a gentleman.
He didn't punt at all, did he? He was the only man in the team that didn't punt.
Yeah, we did notice.
We did.
Day 3 of the competition is in Cambridge, where at the Aya Villa guest house, Richard is sensing bad vibes from Sharon.
At the moment, I'm kind of feeling there's hostility there, and I don't see any reason for it.
I'm sure it was Richard that made some very nasty comments about my property and about me. So I'm really quite happy if I sit at the other end of the table tonight.
And as they all rock up for dinner at host Faz's local steakhouse, Sharon gets her wish. First, Russell wants to dust off his chat-up technique.
So this place is a friend of yours, is it, that owns the restaurant?
Yeah, it belongs to a friend of mine.
Oh, fantastic. No, do you come here very often?
Russell, as usual, very, very funny. But keeps the table alive, doesn't he?
Yeah, Russell comes out with some corkers sometimes.
Now he's broken the ice, Russell wants to know more about the host.
How old were you when you set up your first business? You must have been really
young. I was 22 when I set up my first business.
What was that?
It was a gym.
Obviously, you weren't very good at that.
Do you know what? Even still to this day, everyone still comes to him for his advice.
Really?
Proper competitors.
He doesn't talk about himself much. Whack bigs him up. He's like Whack's is like his promoter.
Faz is a natural-born grafter and businessman, and he's an honest, down-to-earth, humble guy.
Next, Chris gives Faz the chance to blow his own trumpet.
What would you be doing, Faz, if you weren't running a B&B, do you think?
Absolutely no idea. No idea. Whatever came my way.
Yeah.
Whatever opportunity came my way, I'd take it.
Richard, what would you be doing if you weren't in this business?
I would probably still be in entertainment.
Can you incorporate some entertainment into some of your show business background into your B&B, do you think?
As far as I'm concerned, working in hospitality and working in entertainment are exactly the same thing.
He says he's a personality, he says he's a showbiz person. If I had to work with him, he'd drive me mad.
With Sharon giving him the cold shoulder all day, Richard tries to warm things up.
Sharon, what about yourself? What would you be doing if you weren't in the wonderful world of hospitality?
I do other things anyway.
Bit of tension between them two. We don't know what it's about, but there's definitely some tension there.
Is that acting?
Well,
What is it, Sharon?
What is that career, Sharon?
it's a private career that I'm not going to talk about today.
There was precious little communication, if any, this evening. And I don't know. I don't know what to say, really.
It's pretty hard to get on the bad side of Sharon, to be fair. But I think Richard stepped on a few nerves a couple of times. But generally, Sharon's sweet with everyone.
Dinner over, and it's all back to the Aya Villa for some Aya Napa. But Richard is concerned about how Sharon and Chrissy might behave at his B&B.
It is our ground, it is our territory, it is our hospitality. I would consider it to be incredibly rude not to accept hospitality graciously.
And Russell and Chris are hoping they'll see an overnight thaw.
And I think it'd be good to sleep on today's events and hopefully tomorrow will be a fresh new day.
Next morning, and a good night's sleep hasn't changed Sharon's approach to Richard.
There isn't a cold reception between Richard and I, in my opinion, because I just ignore him.
I'm going to do the seating plan today, so hopefully that should build bridges. You two in the corner, table for two.
Downstairs, Faz's extensive cold buffet even has a dessert thrown in.
I couldn't have offered them any more, I don't think, unless I went and brought the whole supermarket here.
The guests arrive to check out his selection.
Did you sleep well?
Yes, thank you.
So behind you, you've got a buffet-style breakfast. Just help yourself, and anything you need, I'm here.
The size of them croissants, I've never seen such huge croissants.
No, they're lovely, aren't they?
I thought breakfast was a great result. You can't say any better than what Faz did this morning.
Does anyone else want any eggs? They're quite hot, so be careful.
Definitely think, you know, could do a cooked breakfast as an option and charge more. I think there's a potential to do that.
We really liked breakfast today. Thought the buffet was excellent. It was huge. Would have been nice to have had a little bit of cooked breakfast, but to be honest, for the price, I mean, it was amazing.
As Faz's breakfast hits the spot, Richard wants to chew the fat.
I think Faz lets his business do the talking, as opposed to being told it's great.
But it's causing indigestion for Sharon.
Richard talked a little bit too much for me. He likes to lead the table.
I don't think any of us have actually gone around saying that we're all great, though, in terms of, you know, all the other B&Bs.
I'm not saying for 1 minute that I think any of us have done that. All I'm saying is what Faz has done. And I'm not, you know, I'm not going to get into anything other than this is Faz's breakfast and it's good. There is a point this morning where Sharon and I could have got into a debate about how people present themselves and how they let the business represent themselves. But I didn't, and I put a lid on it.
Richard and Sharon's verbal jousting isn't over yet.
We all get criticism. You know, we all have our thoughts and opinions. It's how you deal with that criticism.
I think criticism is great if it's constructive. If it's slating and really nasty, if someone's got that in their personality, then they're always going to be like that.
Maybe it's feedback. I don't believe we've slated her.
I personally feel that Richard has completely slated my B&B unjustifiably. So now it's actually Richard's turn, so it will be interesting for us both to actually see how wonderful his place is and what high standards he has.
With the stage set for a showdown,
here we go.
The guests get set to fill out the feedback forms.
How are your hosts at Aya Villa? It's got to be a 10, hasn't it?
I don't think you could have wished for better hosts.
No.
Quite happy to give Faz a 10 for being the host.
Faz was very thoughtful and, like, so very attentive. So yeah,
10
I'm
is,
happy with
yeah,
10.
10.
Extremely welcoming, very relaxed.
How clean was Aya Villa?
Aya Villa was spotless.
I think the room was very clean, but it just needed that final supervisor to go in or final sweep just to check a few little things. 7 or 8.
I'd go around an 8 because on the fan in the bathroom.
Just bathroom, fan.
How were the facilities at Aya Villa?
I'm talking about going for an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, I'd go a 9 on that.
9? These are high scores.
How did you sleep at Aya Villa?
I slept like a log. I'd still be there now.
So, how was breakfast at Aya Villa?
Probably an 8 for that.
Yeah. The breakfast based upon how it was sold as a continental breakfast, I think, was excellent. I think it would have been nice to have an option for a cooked breakfast.
Would you stay here again? Yes or no? After 3? 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
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 I think I'm going to move in.
Would you stay here again?
Not with you.
You're going to say that.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Now the B&B owners must put their money where their mouth is.
I'm happy with this amount. Are you?
Yeah, definitely.
As they decide what they think their stay was worth. The payments won't be revealed until the end of the week.
Are you happy?
I'm very happy.
We're both agreed?
Yeah.
For now, the host can see how the Aya Villa fared in the feedback.
Let's have a look. How were your hosts at Aya Villa? Faz deserves a 10 for being so hospitable. Nothing was too much trouble. 10. Can't ask for any better than that, can you? How clean was Aya Villa? 8. Room could have benefited from a final check. How was breakfast at Aya Villa? 8. Why not offer a cooked option as an extra and charge for this to make more money? Possibly in the future, if I can expand a bit more, get a bit more of a kitchen space. Most important question, would you stay here again?
Yeah, that's
yes.
fantastic.
So, can't complain about that. I'm happy with this review.
Thank
See you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Next one.
Go on then.
I know whose this is.
Say bye.
How were your hosts at Aya Villa? 10 out of 10. Wonderful hosts, attention to detail excellent, very warm welcome, brilliant. Yes, that's Sharon, isn't it? I'm happy with that. How clean was Aya Villa? 10 out of 10, spotless.
How are the facilities at Aya Villa? We got an 8 out of 10 for that.
Look after this. I can't get my arms around this.
Would you stay here again?
Yes.
So,
Yeah, it's good.
you know, I'm happy with that. Last but not least, yeah. So how were your hosts at Aya Villa? Faz and Wak extremely welcoming, very relaxed and helpful. I would like to know where I missed the 1 mark on the hosting.
Do you know?
But, you know, I've obviously
good.
missed something. Maybe I didn't carry their bags. How clean was Aya Villa? 8 out of 10. Very good, pretty much 100% clean. Just bathroom, fan.
To put a comment down like pretty much 100% clean and then to give him 80%.
Yeah,
that's a bit
it doesn't work out, does it?
Bit of a contradiction.
How was breakfast at Aya Villa? 9 out of 10. Excellent buffet spread, wide range, just the right amount of attention.
We'll see you later. See you later. Thank you. Soon. Go on yourself.
Would you stay here again? Yes. 3 yeses. Reasonable marks. I would have liked them to be a bit higher. Richard better be working hard today now. Now, I mean, with these results, he better have his cotton buds out and get the toothbrush out and get everything checked. Because I'm going to be looking.
Looking
Definitely.
hard. Coming for you, Richard.
Next time on 4 in a Bed,
How are you, darling? You all right?
Faz goes undercover
I got you, boy!
and there's extreme frustration.
I haven't got a runny egg. It's just irritating.
when Richard and Kerry are the final hosts.
Oh, God, everything is such a drama with Sharon.